Hi, this is Synthchaser from synthchaser.com, and I've acquired this really awesome condition, Oberheim OB-8. The side panel's off because I took a voice board out for something, and it works, and it's in wonderful condition. It has the page 2 functions here on the panel. But the one problem it has is a problem very common to OB-8s that I'm going to show you how to fix today, and that is dead keys. So most of the keys are working, but a few of them are not working, and a few of them are intermittently working. And like I said, I'm going to show you how to fix that. So there's two styles of keybeds that were used in the OB-8. The very early OB-8s used the Pratt Reed keybed, where the keys look like this. This is the same style of same keybed that was used in the OBX, OBXA, and many other keyboards. And repair of this kind of keybed is very straightforward. You adjust the little contact wire and or clean up the bus bar, and generally you fix your key contacts. The OB-8 earlier ones used this style of keybed. Later ones use this style of keybed that you see here. So you can see the difference between the key. It's a shorter keybed, and underneath you'll find, as I'll show you later, it looks a lot like a remote control. It's a carbon coated rubber sheet, and when you press a key, it makes contact between 2 points on a little circuit board that's under there. So there's two main problems with this. One is these contacts and this PCB underneath get dirty, preventing contact, and the other is the carbon wears off the little rubber nubs, and then even if it's cleaned up, it won't work. So we'll take a look at this and see which of the problems this keybed has and fix them. I'll show you how to fix both modes of failure. And while I'm in here, I'm going to recap the power supply, beef up those bridge rectifiers. Everything inside looks original, but the power supply, rebuilding the power supply on these is just mandatory. Leaving this as is would be a disaster waiting to happen. So I'll rebuild the power supply and pull this keybed out, and we'll have a look. You can see here the heat damage all the way through to the bottom of the board, the back side of the board, from the underrated bridge rectifiers that came on the OBs. The OB-8's not the only one with this problem. All OB series synthesizers need to have their power supplies rebuilt and the bridge rectifiers upgraded. So I'm going to be changing the bridge rectifiers, capacitors, and the trimmers while I'm in there for the power supply of this OB-8. So I've removed the keybed from the keyboard, and there's 6 screws on the bottom that connect here, 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 and here. And I gently disconnect the ribbon cable from the control board, and the keybed will come out and we can put it on the bench. And what we're looking to do is we're going to remove this circuit board from the bottom of the keybed. So there's a bunch of screws that come along there that secure it to the keybed, and we'll unscrew those and take this circuit board out. So with these screws removed, we can just gently pop the circuit board off. Like that. So what we're left with are these 2 circuit boards that are connected together that have all the key contacts, one for each of the keys. And I'll show you this a little closer up. So there's a few possibilities to why the keys aren't working. One is simply that the circuit board or contacts are dirty and we can clean them and be all good. Two is that the carbon conductive paint has worn off and we need to reapply it. Another possibility is when we get to this point we can see that some of these could be damaged. These ones are okay, but occasionally you'll find that the rubber piece is damaged. So here on this particular one from another keyboard, one of the little key contacts has come off. So in that case, you're going to need to replace the whole rubber key contact strip. But what we're going to do is we're going to pop all of these off, and then we're going to clean everything. And that's going to be the first pass at trying to fix this key bed. So now very gently I'm going to pry these key contacts off, and I don't want to be very rough with them because they are delicate. We've seen, I showed you one where the key contact has come off. So we're just gently prying this off the board. And even though we only had a problem with a few of the keys, I am going to clean all of the key contacts while I'm in here. So now I've pulled the strip off. You can see on the back the carbon conductive pad and the little part on the circuit board where that presses down to make continuity for specific notes. These are then fed through these diodes and used as a diode matrix by the keyboard for scanning the key bed. Now I'm going to use my favorite electronics cleaning product, denatured alcohol. It's a very, very mild solvent, and I'm going to clean both the pads on the circuit board, just like this. I'm also going to clean gently. I don't want to rub this conductive carbon stuff off, but I just want to get any surface dust or dirt off, like this. And I'll go down the entire key bed and give it a cleaning. In this particular case, looking at the circuit board was very clean, no dirt on any of those pads. And what I did notice is someone had put these little contact, I guess, stickers on the key contacts there. And when I even very gently cleaned them, they came off. So we're going to move straight to the phase 2, which is reapplying carbon conductive paint to these key contacts. So I'm getting these stupid little sticker things off the key contacts, and now I've come across ones that have an even lower budget solution. So I'm going to pull all this off, and we're going to do this the right way. I've cleaned up all the previous attempts to repair the key contacts, and the product that I'm going to be using is this Circuit Works rubber keypad repair. You can get it on Amazon or wherever. And it's a two-part thing, so I'm going to open this up and I'm going to mix this in to activate it. And then I've got about 48 hours of use from it, and I'm going to paint it onto the key contacts, which I've just cleaned. So I'll show you that. So I'm going to activate this product. So I open this up. There's not much inside of there, but I take this other little vial and open it up. And just pour it in. There's only a few drops in there. And now that I've activated it, it's going to last about 3 days, give or take a little bit. So there's a little stirring spoon, so I'm going to mix this up. So now what I'll do is I'll take my key contacts and use the little brush that they provide. So now that I've repainted conductive material on all these key contacts, not just the ones that were bad, if there were bad ones, then other ones would soon go bad. So while I'm in there, just do everything and kind of reset the clock on all of those key contacts and make them last for a while. So they're all painted now, and I am going to let this sit overnight to dry, and then we'll come back and put them in the keyboard. So it's the next day and these key contacts have dried, and it's time to put them back onto the circuit board. And you'll notice that each strip has 6 contacts with the exception of one, which has 7 contacts. And the one with 7 goes back at the high end of the keyboard. You'll see here there's kind of the pattern is kind of the little nubs going in every other key is broken up here on the high C. So this one with 7 contacts will go back on the high end of the keyboard. And what you'll just do is you'll set it down there and gently push the nubs through the hole in the circuit board. So I'm going to do that here. And once you've pushed it through, you're going to need to have a close look at it to make sure it's sitting completely flat. Like here, where this standoff is, I missed pushing that one in all the way. So I'm going to go back and make sure it's completely flat, sitting completely flush against the board. And again, here, this one, something like this is not good enough. It needs to be completely flat and flush against the board. Otherwise, you're going to have issues when you try to trigger those keys, or they're going to pop out when you go to put this circuit board back into the key bed. So I will show you a close-up of putting the next one in. So it's real simple to put these in. Again, there's the little nubs and the little holes in the circuit board. Line them up, push them through gently. Again, you don't want to destroy these rubber contact strips, otherwise you'll have to replace them. And then inspect your work, make sure everything is sitting completely flat against the board, and then move on to the next one. So I'm going to run down the rest of the keyboard, and I'm going to put these on. And once I get them on, we'll stick this circuit board back into the key bed. So now that we've got the rubber strips all seated completely flat against the circuit board, we're going to put the circuit board back into the key bed. So we'll flip it over like this, and then we'll put it into these little white little holder guide things, and just kind of get them in there. Push the board back. Like that. So when you seat the circuit board into the key bed like that, invariably some of the key contacts are going to get shoved out of alignment, and I'm going to peel this back so you can see like that one there is now tweaked to the side, and that's no good. So what you can do to fix that is just gently peel the circuit board back, and then get in there with some tweezers and just straighten them out so they're again sitting nice and flush and flat against the circuit board. And run down the entire key bed to make sure that none of the other key contacts are tweaked in the same manner. And then once you're sure that all the rubber contact strips are sitting flat and flush against the circuit boards again, then you'll go ahead and put all the screws back to hold it to the key bed that we took out earlier. And now all we'll do is we'll set the key bed back into the keyboard, and in a minute I'll secure the screws on the bottom. We take the ribbon cable and plug it back in here where we took it out. The last thing we'll do is we'll run down the keyboard and make sure that all the keys are fixed and working. I remember this lower octave seemed to have the most problems initially. Now they are good. The OB-8's definitely a more reliable keyboard than its earlier counterparts, the OB-XA and the OB-X. The only weak part on the OB-8s are these keybeds. Most OB-8s that I see have some kind of key contact problem, either dead keys or intermittent keys. And that's the number one thing that goes wrong with these OB-8s. And now I've showed you how you, for not a lot of time and not a lot of money, can fix this yourself without having to bring it to a keyboard tech like me. And you can get your OB-8 working great again. This particular OB-8, now I'm going to give it a calibration, and then it will be ready to find a new home. This is Synthchaser from synthchaser.com. If you have any questions, please post in the comments or visit me on my website. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.